What's up, y'all? Welcome to the first episode of our podcast. Just a group of men looking to grow closer to the Lord and have some good talk, good conversation. I'm Luke. I'm a second-year missionary at the University of Washington, missionary with focus from Alexandria, Kentucky. Graduated from the University of Louisville with a degree in meteorology, minor in marketing, and just really looking forward to hit the ground running.
My name is Vito Morani. I'm a fourth-year student at the University of Washington. I was born and raised in Seattle, and I'm really excited for this first podcast because we got two amazing guests sitting to our left and right. I'm really excited. The theme of this podcast is going to be about Seek. I personally have never been to Seek, so I'm excited to ask these guys some questions. So if we can get started with you over here, if you can introduce your hometown, your patron saint, your favorite Thanksgiving side dish, and one thing you're looking forward to for Seek.
Okay, cool. My name is Hector DeLeon. I'm a first-year missionary with focus, serving here at the University of Washington. But I'm from Kansas City, Kansas, more specifically Olathe, Kansas. It's a good place to be. And I went to the University of Kansas, so Rock Chalk. And
Rock chalk.
yeah, what do I have to say? What else?
Oh yeah, here. So your hometown,
Yeah.
and then your patron saint,
Oh, and then
favorite side dish, and then what one thing you're looking
Gotcha.
forward to.
Gotcha.
It's kind of a lot.
My patron saint is Saint Jude Thaddeus, one of the apostles. And let's see, favorite side dish? Probably stuffing. I love a good stuffing. And what I'm looking forward to for Seek, I think it's just going to be, it might be, so the past 3 years, it's been over like 15,000 students at Seeks, but this time around, it's going to be more like 5,000. So I think I'm more looking forward to like the more intimate vibe that might be happening,
Like that.
but also just being able to connect with you guys. And it's my first Seek as a missionary. I've been to 5 Seeks, so I'm interested to see the contrast between being a student at Seek and then being a missionary at Seek.
Awesome. Well, welcome. Thank you.
Yeah. Take it away.
All right, same things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, my name is Seth Peacock. I'm a graduate student at UW, second year, and my hometown is Springville, Utah. It's near Provo, and my patron saint is John Henry Newman.
Oh, let's go.
Yeah, good guy, doctor of the church now.
Yeah.
And the Thanksgiving.
Favorite Thanksgiving side dish.
Side dish. I love bread, so like a good roll.
Mhm.
And the thing looking forward to Seek.
Yeah.
Speakers. I'm not sure I'll go this year, but just the speakers are usually great.
Yeah.
And I might enjoy those remotely this time.
Good. Nice.
Have you been to Seek?
Yes, I went this past year.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Or the beginning of this year, I guess. It's very start of.
Yeah. Technicality
2025.
there.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's go ahead and I want to open up. Like, what are some of your highlights from last year? From going to Seek, whether that was the talks, just like meeting random people outside, seeing friends, booths maybe that you found striking. What were your all's thoughts, like things that you took away?
I found that this past year was my most prayerful Seek. I think because I had already applied for staff with Focus, and I already wanted to practice doing a holy hour every day. Just going into adoration every day and knowing that that's a resource, that's something you can do, was just super, super nice. And really just made the entire experience of the conference just more prayerful. It actually just felt like what it should be. And instead of just like, it's all fun and it is a great time to be at, to have just absorbed a wealth of knowledge. It also just became more spiritual, and I felt more guided, and even more attentive to conversations that were being had with other people, but also like the talks in general. I also just really loved whose talks did I like? I really liked Trent Horn's talk, one of the breakout sessions, and then Father Mark Schmitz gave a talk on the priesthood as well that I thought was super powerful and honestly better than his keynote. So I loved that. And then I got to talk to my spiritual director, who's a Dominican with the Central Province of Dominicans. And it was really cool to have spiritual direction with him and be invited to a come and see during Seek. So
well,
it was super prayerful and spiritual
what an
Seek for me.
invitation.
So it was very delightful. I
Yeah.
loved it.
What were your thoughts on that, the adoration?
Oh, it was great. Yeah, I love adoration. It's always super powerful to just see people's first time with just such a big environment for adoration. But then uh, the procession of the monstrance with Christ in is always just it's super cool. Just it kind of just takes me back to being in the streets of Galilee and knowing that like it's
Whoa.
pretty much that of just
Yeah.
like imagining the dust being picked up by all the priests and then being the apostles, the disciples, just walking with Christ
I love that.
along the streets and just seeing people just adore and praise him is super humbling and kind of brings me back to reality that there's something bigger than me that people need to see.
It's a super neat image. I've never thought about that. With the monstrance being carried around, is literally Christ walking around, and everyone like in Galilee like bowing down to him, paying homage. It's like awesome. That's a really cool image. I'm glad you brought that up. What would you say is your like your big takeaway highlight last year for Seek?
Yeah, 2 minutes. There's a lot. Yeah, definitely. Like some of the people I met, it was really cool. I got to know people from our campus a bit better, so that was nice. But I also just had like sort of random interactions with a couple of different folks. So I'd like overhear them talking about something. There was a couple of guys who were talking about Mormonism. It was in Salt Lake City, so it was kind of relevant. They had been talking to some people on the street, and I was like, well, I'm
like chip in there. Like,
I'm like, well, I'm coming from Mormonism or the Latter-day Saints. I hadn't been baptized yet. I am now, and and so I was struck up a conversation with these fellows, and like they were very lively. They were super interesting. They had interesting stories. I think both of them were coming from a Protestant background and converting to Catholicism.
welcome to part 2 of this episode. Here we have Mr. Jaden. Hoover, you want to introduce yourself? Your name, where you're from, patron saint, favorite Thanksgiving dish.
All right. My name is Jaden. I come from Renton, Washington, very well-known town. My patron saint is St. George, and my favorite Thanksgiving dish is ham. I love a good ham. Not very kosher, but it's good.
That's awesome.
I thought you were from Texas.
My family's from Texas.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I grew up in Renton, but
Mhm.
I spent time in and around Spring, which is like Northwest Houston, which is where my family's from.
You guys from like 4 different spots. Australia.
Yeah.
Texans and Cowboys fan.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Anyways, so
Aren't you 3-8?
anyways, so yeah, Seth, you were talking about a conversation you were having with people that were talking about the LES faith, right?
Yeah.
Were they Catholic? Were they students at this conference?
So they were students at this conference, and one of them was already Catholic, and the other was coming from like a broadly evangelical kind of background, and was like ready preparing himself to for full communion with the Catholic Church. And it was just a very wholesome conversation. Like we all kind of enjoyed the apologetic side of things, and so like we kind of bonded over that, and like it was just very nice to hear their stories, like that how they came to the Catholic Church, and like the devotion they had like on their campuses. They were not like going out to argue with people, but they were trying to like talk with their friends, their Protestant friends, and getting them to try to consider Catholicism or like come with them to mass or whatever. So it was like,
Wow.
Yeah.
Where were they coming from?
So I think the one, I can't remember. So one of them was Protestant. I think maybe like Presbyterian or something.
I mean, like geographically.
Oh, geographically. The college was Hope College.
Hope
I can't
College.
remember where that's
Okay.
located.
Yeah, I don't either.
Yeah.
Indiana? Maybe.
Indiana.
That sounds right. Yeah.
It's somewhere in the Midwest.
Sorry if any of you are here from Hope College. We'll find we'll find out soon enough.
I'm pretty sure
we'll
the
land.
Dominicans serve there. The Central Province.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, it's Central Province campus. That's hype. That's awesome. Okay, that's exciting. Wait, well, did you have like a big takeaway from like a talk for like Monsignor Shea, Father Mike Schmitz,
Yeah.
Robert Spitzer?
Yeah. So I mean, lots of good talks all around, but like a moment that will like that's burned in my mind is from Father Mike Schmidt's keynote, and he was talking about the Shroud of Turin
Mm-hmm.
and like the marks, like the beatings that Christ went through, and he says, yeah, it's a very powerful moment. If you weren't there, you could watch it, but it hits so much harder in person. But he's like, it's like I was the one who did that to him, and it was just you could hear a pin drop. Like the whole room just had this really super powerful feeling, and you could like a bit of a conviction for your sins. You're like, wow, I need to be a better person, and like I should accept Christ's mercy because he underwent all this for so that I could return to him.
Yeah, I remember you showing that last year. It just got super quiet. You could just like feel the air, like got super thick all of a sudden. Yeah, I remember he was like every wound of Christ corresponds to our sin. It's just like crazy to think about. Like we are the one who struck him. Yeah, I was super memorable. I'm glad you felt the same way. I know I talked to a few other students, and they had very similar feelings and thoughts. So, yeah, man, it is convicting, for sure. All right, Jaden, what was your highlight last year from Seek? Just like in general, where like did your attractions lie?
For me, oddly enough, I love talking with religious as a person not discerning religious life, but I spent a lot of time in and around Mission Way, just talking to the various religious groups that are there. I especially love talking to the sisters and just talking about like what it's like living in a convent and how that plays out in their day-to-day life. I think that kind of stuff's really fascinating. And it makes me appreciate more the contemplative aspect of the faith for sure. It's good stuff.
Yeah, yeah. So you're just going around to different booths and just kind of getting a gauge for like what like the charisms of these different orders.
I spent a lot of time. I think that the groups I spent the most time talking to, I spent a lot of time talking to the East Coast Province Dominicans.
Oh, let's go! Shout out Province of St. Joseph.
Yeah. And then I spent some time talking to there were some Capuchins that were tabling. They were very cool, and they had like 22 relics with them. Like they just had a whole tray, like just a bunch of reliquaries inside. So that's really cool. And then there was an FSSP booth, and I was talking to a seminarian, and it was funny because I was with my girlfriend, and he comes up to me. He's like, there's really something about the Latin Mass that draws young men to the priesthood. My girlfriend kind of like tugs me. She's like, it's okay, we're going away, right? But no, it was really cool just getting to talk to them and like learn about their charisms,
Yeah,
stuff.
That's wonderful. Yeah, so I've been to 5 Seeks now. Same as Hector. 4 as a student, 1 as a missionary last year, and I think just like every year, adoration just blows me away. So I've been to 3 in-person Seeks. The first 2 were in St. Louis, Missouri. Last year's was in Salt Lake City, obviously, and yeah, I just remember like so many people, like friends from across the country. I would be able to see, and if like there wasn't someone that I did see and I was kind of like hoping to, it was just like a slight prayer, like, Lord, like, bring them today. And all of a sudden they're like right in front of me. It's crazy. I just like run into them, spontaneously. Um, but just like honestly, like seeing worlds collide last year was pretty cool too. Like people from my university, University of Louisville, and UW kind of like crossing paths, meeting each other is like definitely really weird. Especially we had a Dominican campus dinner last year, and Louisville being like the only Eastern Province school that was at Seek in Salt Lake City. The rest were in Washington D.C. We invited them to like the West Province dinner, and just like the way that they're able to like mesh and bond together, it was really cool. Um, but yeah, just like every year, adoration just like blows me away. Just seeing like, as you were saying, like people in adoration for the first time, just incredible. People going to confession for the first time in 10 years, 5, 10 years. Like praise God for that opportunity. I remember like a few years ago, I went to confession, and then I went back to go back to like the dome, which is where the adoration was happening in St. Louis, and prayer teams was an option. But I was just like super excited to get back to go back to sing praise and worship, praise the Lord. But I felt this like feeling in my heart to like go to prayer teams. So I was like, okay, Lord, like I'm going up this escalator to go back to like the main dome to join all my friends and in adoration. If you really want me to go to prayer teams, you'll provide me a way back down straight to prayer teams. So as soon as I get to the top of the escalator, right ahead of me is an escalator going right back down the stairs.
Wow.
Which is like crazy. So I ended up like going, just great experience. I think it was like probably my first time ever going. Met some pretty cool people. Found some people that were like going to campus across the country, but yet from like pretty close to my hometown. We just like had good conversation, but yeah, the Lord works in amazing ways at Seek. It's just like really cool to see. Yeah.
No, yeah. So like, I've personally never been to Seek. So like, a new question for you guys is, for someone like that has never been before, what should they expect, or like, what were some things that like really caught your eye or your attention the first time you guys went to Seek? Because I know you guys have been a couple times, and you've been one time, Jaden.
I've been twice.
You've been twice, okay, and then you've been once, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So like, your guys' first time, second time, what were some like the biggest things that like caught your eye, or like you didn't know that was kind of in that space that kind of drew you closer?
I think for me, for my first time going to Seek, so St. Louis, the first thing that really hit me was like touching down in St. Louis, and you just kind of look out and it's like, wow, everyone is here right now for this, especially because St. Louis is like, it's a city that's been like hemorrhaging population for the last couple years. It's dropped from like 800,000 people to a little under 200,000. And then all of a sudden, like there's 24,000 Catholics that come here, and we make up now like a tenth of the population of St. Louis. Just like right there. And it's just kind of crazy. Like it hits you like, whoa, like it's really not just me for real, or it's not just my campus. Like this is something bigger for sure. And it's just like it's like almost overwhelming, but it's like really cool. I think it's a great feeling. And especially like, you get into the convention center and it's like, oh my gosh, like people.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a lens you often get, especially like in Washington. So, yeah, I'd imagine that'd be pretty amazing. Just like seeing like the rest of the country, and the conviction and faith that they have, peer to peer.
Yeah,
it's incredible.
Yeah, big crowds were something I was already fairly used to in high school. I went to 3 Steubenville conferences, which is just like high school. It's like Seek for high schoolers, kind of. A lot smaller, but I was already kind of used to like big adoration, big mass with a bunch of priests. I feel really blessed in saying that. I've just had this experience like plenty of times, and I really enjoy it. What makes Seek different for me is just the fact that it's the breakout sessions for me. It's the it's the speakers that you don't really talk about. It's they're not the keynote speakers per se, but they talk about really maybe niche or really specific topics that kind of just catch your eye. And maybe it's something you've never really considered, or it's something like it's more in depth on a topic. I remember Monsignor James Shea in Seek 24 talked about loving the church, which was in contrast to his keynote, which was also really fantastic. But I honestly really liked his breakout session that year more, just because he's talking about a topic that is just he's relying historically on like how the saints have loved the church and how we today can be the saints of today. And it was fantastic. And I love those breakout sessions. They're just really, I don't know, they're just different. They're different. I feel like maybe those speakers just have a lot less pressure in terms of like giving a talk, and so they feel a little more relaxed and a lot more passionate because it's like such a almost niche specific subject that they can really hammer in on. And it's fantastic. All the speakers at Seek are really, really good, but it's those little breakout sessions that I really like that really set Seek apart from any other conference I've really been to.
That's awesome. Thanks for sharing.
Wow.
Yeah, for me, I guess I would just reiterate what's already been said. Like the crowds, was very, for me, it was very cool to see, just this giant hall. It's such a big room, but like, everybody's there for adoration and mass and stuff. It's so cool to see. And then like the other thing that struck me was just like, there's so much to do. And so, like if it's your first time, you maybe want to, look it over carefully and be like, yeah, do I want to see, this breakout section?
Oh yeah. So there was so much to do, especially like in Mission Way, so many booths to see. But yet like a lot of the days I just wasn't able to make it because there was so much to do outside of that. The talks, the lines for the talks, oh golly, they were long last year. But yeah, like it really is like an incredible experience, just like the amount that you get to do, the people you get to see, just like the random encounters. Yeah. So I guess like kind of wrapping this up, what would you guys say is like a big reason for people to register, to sign up for Seek?
I think it's just more thinking about what if you did go. Like, I don't know. It's a classic question Focus asks people whenever they're discerning to join staff is like, consider like the life of a missionary and like look at the lives that your missionaries live, and like, what if you said yes to that? Like, if there was no obstacles or barriers blocking you from doing that, what would that look like? Most of the time it's like, well, it'd be really cool. It would be really fruitful, really impactful to my life. It'd be one heck of an adventure. And so usually it's just like, okay, then do it. If like you're not considering any obstacles and like that sounds really awesome, do it. And I would kind of just say the same thing about Seek. I can keep talking about how wonderful it is. And I'm sure you can listen to that and hear it, but like, just do it. If you want to go, just go. Like, what if you did? Like, imagine just the growth you would have, the experience of mass with thousands of other people around you. Just really being given so much information, and just being able to receive all that. Just imagine receiving it and just do it. I don't know. I don't really know too much else to say.
Shia LaBeouf, just do it.
I mean, yeah, me personally, like, I was really on the fence to, like, register, and I ended up registering here pretty recently, but I'm just excited.
Let's go.
No, come on. I'm just really excited to be in that Christ-centered community, and, like, as a senior about to graduate, I, like, kind of thought to myself, like, when is an opportunity like this ever gonna, like, come up in my life where I get to have 5 days with that intentional time in that community? So I'm just really excited to be around, not only the University of Washington community, but just have that like intentional time with the Lord. And then just having masses like Jaden was talking about, what you're talking about with thousands of people and adoration, I think that's going to be really moving in my life. So I'm excited for it.
I think it was really inspiring last year, just see the amount of parishioners that came out. A lot of people that are either involved with Focus Parish or just like heard about it and like wanted to check it out. and just like their witness and their courage, like in going for a conference is traditionally like set for college students, but like yeah, I just love seeing parishioners there, and like the way that the way that they adore, and the way that they like want to see like a lively church, and they want to encounter Christ for themselves firsthand, because opportunities like this don't come often. You have any final takeaways, final why seeks?
I mean, you already said it, but yeah, it will change your life. Definitely impacted my faith life. Totally redirected it. I didn't think it would. I had to get pastored by Jet for like 2 months straight to go. But I think it was really worth it. I'm really glad that he did, because yeah, changed my life. And if at the very least you just get to go someplace new with like a bunch of like friends, right? And I think that's great. Like I've never been to St. Louis before in my life. Well, that was cool. Okay. I'd never been to Salt Lake City in my life. Okay, that was cool too. Like at the very least, why not? But there's so much more to it, obviously. But
Love that.
Mm-hmm.
This is my jet.
Hey, I'm no replacement, bro.
Hey, no, you're not. You're not.
you did replace him though. Actually, no, Hector replaced Jet technically. Big ups.
We love all the missionaries here.
There you go. Let's go.
Yeah.
We do.
Mm-hmm.
And any closing thoughts, Seth?
Just the same thing. Like, yeah, why not? Like, it's, maybe you go, and I don't know, you might find it's not your cup of tea, but like, yeah, I think you'll find something there. And even though, yeah, you might not see, why would it be so impactful? It's like, you just got to try it out. And like, so if there's nothing stopping you from doing it other than just like, oh, it seems kind of cringe or whatever, it's just like, go do it.
Yeah.
See the blessing. Yeah.
I love that. Well, yeah, thank you again, Jaden, Seth, and Hector. It's been, just a pleasure having you here. Really looking forward to hit the ground running for future episodes. Make sure to subscribe, leave a comment, tell us your favorite Thanksgiving dish, and tell us if you're registered for Seek. We want to see you there. Seek this year, Columbus, Ohio, Denver, Colorado, Fort Worth, Texas.
Fort Worth sold out.
That's right. Fort Worth is sold out. I forgot about that. I did read that. It's incredible. Praise God. Anyways, thank you for listening to our podcast, and we'll see you next time.